Continuing on a theme of anger, I compiled a list of reflection questions to ignite your curiosity about your anger and to get you started on understanding how you do anger and what adds to your emotional world when dealing with anger. So here are some of the questions. I'd love to hear some of your answers. So please share them with me on what resonated, what did not, what triggered you perhaps even more, or what got you stuck, because that can happen as well. So the first one is, what triggers you? Become curious about what is specifically triggering you into anger. And that can be annoyance, it can be frustration, it can be feeling angry to rage. Like, what are your triggers? And get really, dive into the actual words or looks or people or situations. What specifically happens that switches you? Were you feeling triggered before you exploded? If so, then go back to what your actual trigger was. So it's not necessarily the moment when you come into action or into expression of that trigger, but what are your triggers? So have you been holding it down? In the morning, somebody triggers you and you've been holding it down like a container. What was that trigger? And then later on, what triggered it into expression? What are your triggers? The second question is, do you feel free and safe enough to express anger? Really think and feel into this one. If you do feel free and safe in your expression of anger, become aware of if it's circumstance-based. Is it with only some people? Are you really feeling free with your expression in any context? Are you feeling safe in every context with every single person to really speak your truth about the annoyance, about the rage? Observe what the sensations of that safety, that freedom. And if you are not feeling free or safe to express your anger, where does that live in your body? So get curious about that. The third question, are you able to feel and be with your anger, express your anger without having to throw it or spit it at someone? Feel that one out. Are you able to be angry, to feel that anger? And anger is an energy that wants to move up and out like that dragon, wow. Are you able to find other ways of releasing it instead of having to throw it at a particular person? Now, if your answer is no, there is some work to do there. And it's okay, because the answer is no for so many people. And if you have not built your relationship with your body, with the signals that it gives you, if you are not actively creating boundaries according to your essence, your yes, your no, you as a human being in this world, if you haven't done that work, then this is the invitation to call you into it, to own it, to take responsibility for it. It is yours. It is nobody else's. So it is not fair to you or to anyone else. It's not serving you or anyone else if you are throwing it at someone, projecting it on another person. Call that back and start exploring how to release in healthier ways. And this brings me to the fourth. Can you own your emotions as your own? Do you recognize that your anger is your anger? My anger is my anger. It doesn't matter if you trigger an anger inside of me, or if I am triggered by you just doing you in this world and I get triggered into my anger. It's my anger. It's my trigger. It's got nothing to do with you. That you and your expression of you in that moment may push the right sequence of buttons inside of me, but it is mine. And the energy that lives behind that anger is an accumulation of all of the boundaries that were crossed, all of your yeses that became no for whatever reason, all of your no's that became yeses for whatever reason. Anytime those were crossed or you were not paying attention to what was right with you, your anger grew. It's yours. So just as you would not project it on anyone else, are you able to own it and to recognize, because it is so, the tendency is so strong and it is so easy to say you did it or that situation. That's the problem. The problem is outside of me. And if only that didn't happen or that wasn't said or they didn't do that, then I wouldn't be angry. My boundary wouldn't be crossed. And so pull that responsibility back. Take it back, because that's the first place of healing. It's yours. Number 5. What will happen to you if you feel your anger? What will happen if you express your anger? Notice what happens in your body. What will happen if you feel your anger? If you allow yourself to feel angry, if you allow yourself to step into it, what happens inside of you? Just listening to me say that. Ask yourself, what will happen if I allow myself to feel anger? So many people feel like if I allow myself to touch it, it will never stop. It will open Pandora's box and then it will continue to flow out. Notice what your inner response is. And ask yourself, really feel now, what will happen or what would happen if you express your anger? If you share that, notice how that feels inside of you. What arises? What are the sensations in your body? What shuts down? What ignites? What collapses, contracts? What starts moving? The 6th question: what will you gain from feeling and expressing your anger? What will you gain? And trust the first images, the first sounds or words or sensations that arise inside of you when I ask you that question. Ask yourself that question. What will you gain from feeling and expressing your anger? And be honest with yourself. Be with whatever that response is. There's no need to analyze it or to change it, transform it, to believe that that can't be. And if it's, for example, if it's nothing, and that's the main, explore whether there's resistance in there, if there's fear in there. Explore with these questions. Feel, sit, be with the body response. And connect it to that same question. What will you lose from feeling and expressing your anger? What will you lose? The 7th question is, do you have to express your anger at someone? Is that a belief? Is that something that resonates deeply with you? Is it an escape? An avoidance of needing to be with the discomfort of your emotional world? The same as spitting it out? Observe what your body reaction is. Do you have to? do you have to express at someone, with someone? What is your truth here? The eighth question is, what are your other deepest beliefs about anger? What do you believe about anger? This is a beautiful possibility to really journal or reflect. What is connected to your world of anger? What are the words, the people, the beliefs, the ideas, the limiting beliefs and ideas that live connected to that have you in fear or resistance or engaged in that energy, attracted to that energy perhaps? Observe for yourself, what do you actually believe about anger? What is the color of anger? The taste of anger? What does it do to you? What does it do to others? What does it do to strangers? What does it do in the world, in the collective? What are your beliefs? The ninth question is, what fears arise inside of you when you express anger? Or when you allow yourself to feel anger, when you allow anger? What fears start moving? Where do those fears, where are they rooted in your body? Where do you feel them? Where is it contracted? Where is the resistance? And what are those fears? Be with them, explore them, breathe with them, be in it. Taste what is there, acknowledge what is there. It is allowed to be there as well. So facing it, look at that fear and observe what the truth is for you. They could be fears that don't serve you anymore, that are not actually truth for you anymore. Recognizing that changes and shifts the energy inside of your body. And lastly, the 10th question is, what is anger? What is anger? As simple as that. What is anger to you? I want to hear from you in your journey of emotions, of anger, wherever you may be right now. And if you want additional support, please reach out. If this is really an area of your life that you so want to dive into, reach out. Set up a discovery call with me and we can dive into the world of anger together. I also have a 5-week self-paced course, Get It Out, about healing anger and powerful emotion and opening your toolkit and growing your toolkit on how to handle the energy of your emotional world in healthy ways. All of the tools that we never learned when we grew up. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. One love.